Good morning, Africa, and to everyone else across the globe. Good morning from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. It's the conversation here on TOS TV network, and as always, it promises to be exciting and interesting on the conversation this morning. I am Adesu Alsi.
And I'm Musazeh Cesar. A very lovely morning to you.
All right, without further ado, we're going to go on a break, and when we get back, we'll be taking you through stories and developments across the African continent. Welcome back. Now moving straight into developments across the African continent, starting with Nigeria, where Faisal Shoaib, the Executive Director of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, said the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, that's NAFDAC, will access the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine before it is distributed to Nigerians. Shoaib disclosed this on Monday during the media briefing of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 in Abuja. On February 18, NAFDAC approved the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine for emergency use after evaluations showed that it was safe and well tolerated in adults above 18 years. And the NPHCDA is charged with the responsibility of distributing the vaccine. According to Shoaib, the shipment of 4 out of 16 million doses is expected in the country within 1 week, and NAFDAC will still need to access samples of the vaccines. In a statement, he said, when the vaccine arrives to the country, NAFDAC will still take samples for assessment before we commence COVID-19 vaccination.
Now we move on to South Africa. South Africa sets ex-leader Zuma's corruption trial for May. South Africa's former president Jacob Zuma and French arms dealer Thales, accused of graft in a case going back more than 2 decades, will go on trial in May, the High Court ruled on Tuesday. Now, Zuma is facing 16 charges of fraud, graft, and racketeering relating to the purchase of fighter jets, patrol boats, and military equipment. He allegedly took bribes of 4 million rand in a 3.4 billion arms deal with French aerospace and defense giant Thales in 1999, when he was deputy president. Judge Nkusinathi Chile at the High Court in Pietermaritzburg said the matter was certified as trial ready and would be heard between May 17th and June 20th, 2021. He said the court orders as follows. 1. The matter is certified as trial ready in accordance with the judgment's precedents pre-trial criminal court hearings, a directive dated 7th November 2018.
I think I like what South Africa is doing with this one. It just goes to show you, it's like holding people accountable, whether you're a former president or whatever. If you were corrupt, you're going to be held accountable.
Yes,
so I think it just passes the message that if we can't get you when you're in power, we're going to be waiting for you when you're done with it. And I think I kind of like that. I think Nigeria should adopt that strategy. All right, moving on to COVID-19 related stories. In Senegal, on Tuesday, Senegal began its vaccination campaign against the coronavirus with 200,000 doses of vaccines bought from China. The country received shipment of the Sinopharm vaccines last week. Government ministers, health workers at the health ministry in Dakar were the first to have been given the first jab. The Francophone-speaking West African nation is one of the first in the sub-region to begin inoculating its population against the virus. So far, it has registered 33,242 and 832 fatalities. Senegal is hoping to inoculate about 90% of its targeted 3.5 million people. Health workers, high-risk persons between 19 and 60 are expected to be vaccinated by the end of the year. There are 16 million people in the country. Now, moving on to our COVID-19 update for this morning, we're going to go on a break, and when we get back, or in that time, we're going to be giving you a COVID-19 update from across Africa.
TOS TV Network mobile app is now available. You can now catch up on our breaking news, stream our programs live, watch out for the latest update on sports and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our TOS TV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. TOS TV News from Africa by Africans.
Being a journalist means in-depth analysis that unravels hidden truths, that question the status quo and fact-checks government.
These criminal elements hiding under the cloak of surveillance contractors are the APC elements.
Do you have facts to prove that? Being a journalist means waking up every day with a burning desire for peace, equity, and justice for all citizens.
We're being told that the choice you have is to take the lesser of two evils.
It means patriotism via the prism of objectivity and accountability. It means giving my platform to the masses to discuss issues that matter to them.
Some of them, if they bring budget, and the budget they look. Some they sleep. They're going to ask how much you are on. I have it.
Thereby shaping government policies and laws. My name is Osasu Igbenegbu, and I am the People's Journalist.
Welcome back. It's still the conversation, reaching you live from Abuja studios here in Nigeria's federal capital. It's now time for us to take our newspaper review, and we begin with the Blueprint newspaper. There's this small written headline just under the logo of the newspaper. It says, "Insecurity, dialogue not best option, but a necessity," says Abdul Salami, a former president or former head of state of Nigeria. Insecurity, dialogue not best option, but a necessity. Now, just beside that, you have federal government to begin 400,000 euros pilot tranches in 4 states. Zenith Bank's gross earnings hit 696.5 billion naira, rise by 5%. On page 9 of the newspaper, you find this comment coming from the governor of Plateau State, Dr. Simon Lalong. It says, not only herdsmen carry AK-47, farmers also bears guns. And this very gaping headline says, after 3-year law on digital switchover, federal government okays 9.4 billion naira for project execution. Targets 1 million jobs, inaugurates 13 mountain for 31 states, says no more subsidy but private sector driven DSO, no court injunction stopping project, says Information Minister Lai Mohammed. And the very last story there on the Blueprint newspaper says, troops recapture Mati, kills 7 Boko Haram fighters. You would find that on page 5 of Blueprint newspaper.
All right, moving over to the Daily Trust, starting from the very top. Zenith declares 8.4 trillion naira asset base, leads Nigerian banks. Beside that, gridlock, NPA Lagos meet as trucks e-call-up begins. Federal government targets 1 million jobs from digital switchover. Then moving on over to the very obvious headlines. This is on Boko Haram. Many killed, dozens injured as explosions rock Maiduguri. The first rider, 9 boys playing football among the dead. Kaleri, Kwange, Adam Kolo areas affected. Zulum visit hospitals as doctors battle to save victims. Its first major attack on capital in years. That's the same Boko Haram's first major attack on Maiduguri's capital. That's Borno State capital in years. And then under the picture of the day, still on banditry, what we're witnessing is terrorism. That's coming from governors. McBan moves to stop cattle sales to South, threatens to sue Ortum. That's on page 6. Matawale rules out defection, says Yari Marafa, not my match. And then the last headline there this morning says military recaptures Marte from terrorists. That is all the headlines on the Daily Trust newspaper today.
Now we move over to the Daily Times, and on top of the Daily Times logo, you have this story says, why CBN discourages dealings in cryptocurrency in Nigeria as key regulators back Apex Bank's position. If you want to know more on that, you should pick a copy of the Daily Times newspaper to know as to why the Central Bank of Nigeria is discouraging dealings in cryptocurrency in Nigeria as key regulators back Apex Bank position. Now, the gaping headline there, where you find that story in page 2, the story says, PDP kicks as Senate confirms ex-service chiefs, others as ambassadors designate. Under the photo of the day, where you can find the governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, with a distraught lady there crying, you find these 3 stories. This one says, explosion, anxiety at Maiduguri Varsity, others as explosions, gunshots rock the city. Insecurity, deploy armed security men to schools, Senate urges federal government. And the final story, traffic snarl, Lagos to impound trucks parking on highways over Apapa gridlock.
I'm feeling support of that one. If you've been on that Apapa road in Lagos, you would know that that's absolutely necessary.
Funny enough, I haven't been to Lagos before.
Oh wow, okay. No, but I mean, you've heard stories about traffic and all of this stuff.
Certainly.
But those trucks, they compound the whole thing. You could be on that road for hours because trucks are parked on the lane and there's just one tiny lane for all vehicles to park. You know, it's crazy, yeah. And then moving over to the leadership newspaper this morning, starting with news on cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency used to finance terrorism. CBN, NFIU, ICPC tells NAS. The writer under that said PMB, that's President Muhammadu Buhari, orders overhaul of national strategy on cybersecurity. Task force on digital switchover to create 1 million jobs. That's coming from the federal government. That story, both stories are on page 6 and 7 of the leadership newspaper. Now, the very obvious headline: governors backtrack, say talking to bandits not a bad idea. The first rider, farmers also carry AK-47, not only herdsmen. That's coming from Lalong. Nothing can be farther from the truth. Farmers hit back at Plateau State Governor. And we are determined to end insecurity, Service Chief assure Senate. That is the very gaping headline on the leadership newspaper this morning. And moving over to just beside the picture of the day with President Buhari and I think his FEC members, stakeholders pick holes in management of Safe School Initiative. The rider under it says, as Senate begins probe of utilization of $20 million donation. Under that, Zenith Bank's gross earning rises by 5% to 696.5 billion naira. Court stop SEC from infringing on Owando shareholders' right. Togo overtakes Nigeria in shipping business. Reps grill NNPC contractors over $2.6 billion AKK pipeline project. Don't politicize oil crisis, Uzodinma tells critics. And then the last headline there says, FRSC begins clampdown on rickety vehicles. Those are the headlines on the leadership paper today.
All right, we'll now move over to Business Day newspaper. On Business Day, we have hike in rates may mark end to cheap consumer credit. Hike in rates may mark end to cheap consumer credit. And beside that headline, you have Gowon, Emir of Kano, headline Business Day Good Governance Award. Gowon, Emir of Kano, headline Business Day Good Governance Award. And then inside the Business Day newspaper, you have this story that has repeated itself across several newspaper takes that we've had this morning. It says Zenith Bank earns 696.5 billion naira in 2020. So if you want to get more insight as to all of the stories we shared with you this morning, do well to pick any of the national dailies and get yourself informed this morning.
Okay, talking about getting yourself informed, we're going to go on a break, and when we come back, it's time to take you through what is trending on social media. Welcome back. It's about that time where I take you through what is trending on social media. Now, there's no gainsaying that this issue of insecurity in the country, that's in Nigeria, has been, on the front burner and is on the lips of everyone, right? And then some latest developments from yesterday. A viral video that trended yesterday saw Niger Delta militants who had dropped their weapons for 5 years, threatening to pick up the weapon again and attack, Lagos State and Abuja. And we all know Lagos is the commercial hub of Nigeria, and Abuja is the administrative, nerve of the country. Now, the militants under the aegis of Supreme Igbesu Liberation Fighters, in the viral video that was posted by Africa Independent Television, accused the federal government of marginalizing the Niger Delta region and failing to deliver on the amnesty program. Now, according to a masked member of the group, who did not say his name, by the way, he says, after accepting the amnesty pact, till date, there are no schools, no portable water, no light, no hospital, and access roads for our people to enjoy. You know what? I'm just going to bring you that video so you can, listen to him for yourself.
The same military that ought to provide, protect and provide properties has turned themselves into militaries of killing, raping, and maiming innocent individuals and rendering our area and our youth jobless. So many others have decided to treat us in the same manner. Don't worry, because we are coming to destroy all your infrastructures in Abuja and Lagos. Even to the oil companies operating in our region that have decided to undermine our people, be rest assured that your days will soon catch up with you. Due to the insensitivity nature of the Nigerian government on issues that are bothering its citizens, today the country is in turmoil. Protests everywhere and strikes in several sectors. The EndSARS process that took place almost crippled the national economy. It is among such ill treatments that gave birth to this unprecedented protest. Nigerian government ought to give our citizens good governance. Today, the various zones in the country are calling for division of the country called Nigeria. So, as a group determined to give total liberation of our people, we will destroy all the oil facilities, both onshore and offshore. In no distance time, we will be seen to be crippling the Nigerian economy in no distance time as well.
Now, that's quite a sad development to see people who had agreed, to embrace peace and, national security decide to, pick up arms again and all of that stuff. So I'm going to read out a few tweets to that regard. This one is from @Aliyu_Saleh. So, Niger Delta militant group have resurfaced and even threatened to carry out attacks in Abuja and Lagos. That's one of the consequences of negotiating and granting amnesty to terrorists. Just few hours, Boko Haram attack Maiduguri. National security shouldn't be negotiable. Another one by Mimi Spicy _ says, those people that never condemned the Fulani herdsmen and bandits are jacking off on Niger Delta threat. Keep the same energy. And then the last one from Caleb @Onyabo says, you glorified or reward crime and expect new criminal not to emerge. The news about the resurgence of Niger Delta militants is something that should be expected. Cause and effects. And I think I kind of, agree or align with, this last tweet. It's like, okay, so if you're going to keep, pampering this terrorist and just having to, negotiate and discuss with them, you're going to have people keep resurfacing because they know that what's the worst that can happen?
Amnesty, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then get amnesty, they'll be reintegrated into the society. Nobody's going to pay for nothing. So why can I not do it if, that keeps happening? And I think it's quite sad to see, as I said earlier, because these people had decided that, okay, we're going to embrace peace, dropping our weapons and all of this stuff. And then after 5 years, they're picking it up again and saying, you know what, we're going back to militancy and all that stuff. But I want to hear your take on all of this. How does it make you feel?
You see, I feel very disheartened, because this is not supposed to get to this level.
Yeah.
And then it is majorly because we have a fundamental leadership flaw. They say everything rises and falls under leadership.
Yeah.
If the leadership at the national level, at the sub-national level, and down to the local levels are doing what they need to do, nipping the issue in the bud. Don't allow it escalate up to this time. It wouldn't get to sort this issue. Somebody would like the other person said, you keep the same energy. You can't be applauding the headsmen and Fulani
and trying to condemn
clashes, and then you now say, oh, this Niger Delta people, they just too like Wahala. It doesn't work that way. If we're going to say we believe in that one Nigeria spirit, there's got to be some level playing field here and there.
And I do agree with that person that said the issue of national security is non-negotiable.
Yes,
we shouldn't be actually negotiating with terrorists, because I feel like if you keep negotiating and keep patting them on the back because I don't know, is it that we're scared, or the government is scared to take steps or take action and just push you with we have the resources, we have the security, we have experts that could do all of this. I saw a picture, I think it was last week, when people were abducted and the abductors took pictures of them with the captives and posted it on social media. That is guts. It takes guts to really. It's just saying we're not hiding anymore.
Yeah. There's nothing you guys can do. I think a lot of people. This is the bitter truth. A lot of people in the government system knows what is going on.
Yes.
It's just some sort of facade, to cover the real thing. But you can't tell me that the Nigerian government, this is my personal opinion, and not the opinion of TOS television, but you can't tell me that the Nigerian government does not know where these people are and how to get them. There's some foul play somewhere, and that's my personal opinion.
Yes, and I think a lot of people actually do share that opinion. Having said all of that, we do hope that the issue of security, national security, becomes top priority at this point, because every day you wake up, you hear one news story. It's either they attacked Maiduguri today, bandits have kidnapped these people, farmer herders clashes, and now militancy. It's becoming quite alarming and very, very, distressing. It's like everybody feels as though we're not safe in this country anymore. And then at least citizens should feel, if anything, citizens should feel in their country is, I'm home and I'm safe. And I think that's what it should be. Okay, away from that, we're going to go on a break. And when we get back, it'll be time to get into, the meat of the conversation. That is the big story.
North to South Africa. East to West Africa. TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Watch us on television, channel 138 on TSTV Africa. North.
A lovely morning to you and welcome back to the conversation. It's now time for us to take the big story where we bring you analytic issues and of course developing issues. Today we're still looking at the issue of security. And our topic is combating insecurity, strategies, approaches, and perspectives. Moving from our social media trends where we just showed you the videos and the thoughts of Nigerians regarding the threats from the Niger Delta group in the south of Nigeria. If we want to go by that threat, it means that this insecurity situation in the country is already escalating.
Yes.
Nigeria is still battling with the scourge of insecurity and citizens go daily with palpable fear, and yet there doesn't seem to be any concrete solution in sight in tackling the menace bedeviling the nation. There's been a very few strategies, approaches, and perspectives from Nigerian leaders regarding these issues. We will look at a few of them, and I will also get your thoughts on the show this morning. Now, the Senate President Ahmed Lawan has assured that a considerable level of success would be achieved in tackling security problems in the country within 2 months. This was as he tasked political class as well as traditional rulers to play roles of de-escalating the tensions that have enveloped the country following crisis in some parts of the country. According to the Senate President, who spoke yesterday to the State House correspondents after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari in his office at Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Abuja, the political and traditional leaders can do this through their actions and utterances. Also, Lawan tasked various state and local government areas across the country to rise up to defend all citizens within their domains, irrespective of their religious, ethnic, and cultural affiliations.
Yes, I think I do agree to an extent, what he said. Aside from, the timeline that he has attached to it, say, in 2 months, we're going to achieve considerable success. It's not that it's impossible, but I don't know. I think I'm allowed to say this. I think I'm one of the few Nigerians, or many Nigerians, who've actually lost faith in all these promises and that, okay, we're going to have something done about this in this time frame. But I do agree that it's supposed to be a collaborative effort now. Both religious leaders, traditional leaders, local government chairman, and down from down up. Everybody who's in position of power, whether minute or big, should take it as a responsibility, to tackle security challenges. If you're in a capacity to just talk to people about it, like we're supposed to be, together. There's no difference. We're all Nigerians, and we should all work towards that. I think I agree with that part, with what the Senate President has said.
So sorry to disagree with you on that note where you said you don't think that it is impossible in 2 months. You still sound like you have some
a little bit of faith.
Yeah, let me tell you categorically, we can't solve the insecurity challenge in Nigeria within 2 months.
No, he said considerable amount of success. He didn't say we're going to solve it.
And then if you say considerable amount of success, what do you mean by that? Because let's take a look at it. I saw a news yesterday in Aba that gunmen attacked a police van and went away with firearms. If government is beginning to suppress our own security outfit, there's a problem somewhere.
Exactly.
There's a problem somewhere. So I think that some of our leaders are not in touch with reality. They just make statements to calm people down, and I also don't like the blame game. You trying to say that I know it's trying to caution traditional leaders and leaders at the local level to say let's not continue to brew the tension that is already in the air. Let's de-escalate it and douse this tension a little bit. But then it is not solely their own responsibility.
Of course not.
We have to work as a consortium to see that we combat insecurity.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's take the next
reaction. Moving on to, Amina Mohammed, the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. Mrs. Amina Mohammed has asked the federal government to increase investment in young people as a means of tackling insecurity. Speaking during a courtesy visit to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Geoffrey Onyema, Mrs. Mohammed noted that young people and Nigerians in general should be given something to look forward to in order to make contributions to the growth of the country. She added that investment should be in areas such as skills development, education, and services that strengthen governance at the local level.
I think this perspective is quite brilliant because, like I told you yesterday, now we have a structure already. We have the presidency, we have the governors, we have the National Assembly leaders, we have even the State House of Representative leaders. Now, the task of engaging young people it's not solely on the presidency. It's not solely on the governors. The State House of Rep, the State House of Assembly members also have that task. They are also closer to the people. They should be able to have a hang on of what is going on there, particularly as regards development of its young people. Because if you look at the issue of insecurity, you will tie it down to poverty, you will tie it down to low investment in the youth population, like things like unemployment, absence of capacity development, and the rest of that. So if those leaders begin to take those things seriously, like the popular saying that an idle man is the devil's workshop, So if those people down at the local level, we have local government councillors, we have local government chairman, what is their blueprint for the youth in their community? This may amaze you. If you get to those, if you get, for example, I don't know how to paint this picture, but for example, an average Nigerian House of Rep leader doesn't have up to 1,000 youths under his custody. I don't know if you understand. If we remove those in diaspora, those who are outside the constituency, let's focus on those living, doing business, working, and schooling in the constituency. I don't think they have up to 5,000 young people. So what is the actual problem? Is it so difficult for an House of Rep leader to say this 1,000 or this less than 1,000 young people are under my custody? I should prioritize their education. I should prioritize their welfare. I should prioritize their security. I should prioritize their mental health and state, because these are the things that, when they're not quite well taken care of, it will, begin to escalate into insecurity. So I think that the UN Deputy Secretary General is spot on when it comes to saying increase investment in the young people.
Because I think one thing our leaders are forgetting is that Nigeria has a larger population of young people.
Than we do. Record says over 60% of our population.
And these people are the ones that are going to be carrying arms if push comes to shove and all of that stuff. But if they have something to do and something to look forward to, like she says, I think we would have a security, trickle down to the barest minimum. That's fantastic.
All right, now we take the third reaction coming from an Islamic cleric and peace negotiator, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi. Now, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has said that the federal government knows the hiding place of the herdsmen and bandits involved in clashes with farmers, kidnappings, and other criminal activities. Sheikh Gumi said that the government was only now playing safe because it realized that the former approach of attacking the bandits frontally was not working. Now, the Islamic cleric said this on a television program monitored by TOS TV network on Monday, that when asked why he can locate and hold dialogue with the bandits while government authorities cannot find them, Gumi said they know they see them by aerial view, but the military has learned its lessons. You know that there's been pictures of this same sheikh seen with the bandits, trying to dialogue and discuss with them.
I think he was the one, aside from saying negotiate with these people, I think he was the one that passed the message on that they're not terrorists, they're just on a revenge mission. The people were killed in a particular place, so they're just revenging, and so they don't just attack any place or just go to a place and kidnap people. It's because something has been done maybe to a headsman in that place, so they're always on a revenge mission, but they're not terrorists, so they should be negotiated with instead of attacked.
The question is, how many sets of people are we going to negotiate with?
That's the thing,
Now,
because it's not even working. Like, we have negotiated, you know, granted amnesty, and we keep seeing escalating cases. So I think he's just, you know, maybe because he can't be seen with them if he doesn't have some sort of personal relationship with them. And I sort of say he's just trying to see what would be favorable to these people. Personally, in my opinion, I don't think he has the Nigeria peace and safety of Nigeria and Nigerians at heart.
Exactly.
For him to actually have said it. And I personally think also that he's been very, I don't want to say religious, but he's been very tribalistic. Because if you're saying these people are not just killing people, they're on a revenge mission, how can you, who have the interest of the people at heart, say something like that? And you expect us to now take you seriously and take your thoughts into consideration? I personally don't agree with him.
It's quite sad. Now, we're still looking at combating insecurity on the big story this morning on The Conversation, reaching you live from our Abuja studios here at TOS TV Network, your digital first Pan-African news network. We're looking at strategies, approaches, and perspectives. A lot of Nigerian leaders have waded into the issue and have given their own perspectives. We would like to hear from you. Head on to our Twitter page at TOS TV Network using the hashtag The Conversation. Let us know, what do you think as a Nigerian? What is the best approach? What is the best strategy? What is your own perspective about the issue? We would be waiting to receive your comments on the comment section this morning.
But if you ask me, my approach is going to be the United States of America's approach. Don't negotiate with terrorists. That is it.
Now speaking of negotiation, let's look at another perspective.
Yeah.
This one says negotiate with the bandits to rescue Kagara boys. This was said by Senator Shehu Sani. Now, Senator Shehu Sani has asked the authorities to negotiate with bandits who killed one student and abducted several others at the Government Science College Kagara in Rafi local government area of Niger State. Now, the lawmaker said on Thursday that the boys should be negotiated out of danger because the bandits have nothing to lose and will not hesitate to harm the abductees. Following the abduction, which took place in the early hours of Wednesday last week, President Muhammadu Buhari directed the armed forces and police to ensure the safe return of the students and officials abducted, a directive that has since led security operatives to launch rescue missions around the region. You would recall that the Nigerian Air Force plane that crashed on Sunday, was on its way en route to Niger State to also carry out some surveillance missions before that unfortunate incident happened. So yes, Senator Sani saying that because the bandits do not have nothing to lose, they could just decide to kill all of the students.
How do we know that they don't have nothing to lose?
So let's negotiate with them so they don't kill the students.
How do we know, first of all, that they have nothing to lose? And secondly, why would we have that mindset that, oh, these people have nothing to lose, so we should negotiate? Negotiation hasn't worked. We have been on this same insecurity issue for years. I think even before I knew what all of this were, I've been hearing the issue of, Niger Delta militancy, all of this stuff. It hasn't worked. We have negotiation. Amnesty is part of negotiation.
Okay.
They negotiated with Niger Delta militants, and we're seeing them resurfacing, picking up arms again.
Saying that.
So it just goes to say negotiation doesn't work. And we've had cases of, Boko Haram terrorists that were, negotiated with, reintegrated into the society, and we saw them went back. We've had stories of them, go back, to all of that stuff. So sometimes it seems as though that's the life they know and that's the life they've come to. We can, if we keep negotiating, you negotiate with terrorists, you negotiate with bandits, you negotiate with militants.
How
are we going to get
that is going to encourage more young people to say, okay, let's form our own group, let's terrorize this part of the country, and before you know, we will be giving amnesty, and before you know, we'll be negotiated with or granted some sort of pardon, you know.
It just goes to say the leaders, the people in authority do not have, control. Because if you keep negotiating, these people, it just means they have a hold on you. Like they have you by the throat. Because you can't do anything. We have negotiated, it didn't work. We should re-strategize and look for, somewhere else to tackle all of this. I mean, we have security forces. Let's deploy them, re-strategize, empower them. I don't know, take them outside, train them or something. Get the outside influence. Just do something other than negotiating with terrorists.
All right, keep the comments coming. Let's get your reactions. Head on to our Twitter page at TOS TV Network on Twitter and let us know what you think about the topic of discourse this morning: combating insecurity, strategies, approaches, and perspectives. What is your own? What is it in your own opinion you think can help us combat insecurity in Nigeria? Let's get to read your comments.
Okay, moving over to the last, input on this one. This is coming from Cardinal Onayekon. Now, he's saying, or he's condemning negotiation with bandits. I think he agrees with me, or I agree with him. Eminent cleric John Cardinal Onayekon has condemned the idea of dialogue with bandits and demanded that those in government should leave the stage if they can no longer secure the lives of the citizens. Some state governors and famous cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi have advocated for negotiation with bandits who have captured the nation's imagination with a spate of kidnapping and violent crimes. But speaking in Minna, the Niger state capital, Onayekon said that is not the right thing to do. I'm going to quote him. He says, "We should not be living in a country where you're always with your heart in your mouth when you are moving from one place to the other. We should not be living in a country where children cannot study in peace in their schools, and where bandits, whatever you call them, from nowhere come and cart away 30, 40 children and their teachers into the bush, and then sit there somewhere and are boasting, calling for dialogue, and even government agencies talking about reaching out. That's not the right thing to do. It's about time that we have a government which takes care of the people. This is not political. It has nothing to do with PDP, APC, and we have now seen it has nothing to do with Islam or Christianity, not even with our tribal differences." I think it just buttresses.
Spot on.
Yeah,
spot on.
It's just spot on. Just buttresses everything that we have been talking about.
It has always been reiterated that the primary function of the government of the day, at any level, emphasis at any level, is to safeguard and secure the lives and properties of its citizens.
Yes.
And if it means taking extreme measures to see that that is actualized, then why not?
And I don't think anybody's going to blame, the government of these days. They take extreme measures against terror. I don't like how we keep, sugarcoating. They're not terrorists, they're bandits. They're hoodlums.
This is how many days that we have declared state of emergency against insecurity.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the state of emergency has been declared yet.
No, I don't
so we're waiting for them to declare it before we now get into the phase of action. This is quite sad. This is quite sad. So let's get your reactions. Head on to our Twitter page at TOS TV Network. Let's get your reactions. You can also drop your comments on our Facebook page too at TOS TV Network, and also at Instagram. At TOS TV Network. Let's get your thoughts on this issue. Looking at the issue of insecurity, it has lingered too much in Nigeria. What is the best approach do you think as a citizen would be best? Now this one, let's go away from the national level. Boko Haram, farmers headers clash, insecurity challenges at the national level. Let's come down to the state and the local level for a bit. Now, I told you of the story I saw in Aba.
Yes.
Where gunmen, it beat my imagination. It beats me hollow to imagine that gunmen can attack police operatives.
It just shows the guts.
And cut away with arms. I am bewildered, because if the police institution is no longer safe, what will happen to the citizen? You see, it gives credence to one of those talks of saying citizens should go about with AK-47 to protect themselves.
Yes. But honestly, maybe not with AK-47, but I think every citizen should be looking at ways that you can protect yourself. If you have to learn maybe self-defense skills or survival skills or something, do you understand that? I think we should do that. And then I don't think, arms, legalizing arms is because there's always, they say when there's an advantage, there's always a disadvantage.
Yeah,
and I think if we get to the point where we legalize arms, then you cannot, stop people from, although there are going to be checks and balances.
All right, yeah.
You understand? But you wouldn't know what I want to use the arms for, right? And then if I have arms, what's to say I wouldn't use it for negative, purposes?
Reasons, yeah. Instead of defending yourself, you can start using it to go after people and also perpetrate crimes.
And that's why we see, situations in the U.S. where somebody can just wake up in the morning and go to school and shoot 100 students dead, stuff like that. And when you check, you see they possess the arms legally, so you cannot even charge them for possessing of arms. But I think it's as you said, at the state level, everyone going from the state government to the, I think that's what states like Osun State, I think that the southwestern states are doing with the Amotekun, and then in the east we're having the Eastern Security Network. Just to ensure that our people in this state are secured. And I think when I was growing up in Lagos State and Ogun State, we had the Odua People's Congress that were some sort of security. Even though it went at some point to the extreme. There
used to be also this vigilante
structure
the vigilante
thing.
At the local level.
At the local level where everyone you have the night, it's like night watch, the night watch thing where and people knew. It was sort of effective at the time because I knew that if the new vigilantes were at this point, you would not actually hear crime at this point, because aside from because they know the places, they know the people, and the people. So it's like, I think that works really. The local security, the night watch thing. I think we should adopt that. We should bring back all of those systems while the government at the top is doing their bit to try to combat insecurity in the country. The government at local level, at the state level, should also do their bit. So it becomes a collaborative effort, like I said. So the state government is closer to the people. You know what's happening in your state. Right, because I know that there are some. It might not have been to the point where we have bandits, coming to kidnap people in your state. But if you have such issues of insecurity that you feel we don't need to take this to the national level at this point. You can combat it, on the state level and the local level. And then if it escalates to what we now call national security concern, then you can now take it like what we're having, in Northeast and Maiduguri and all of that stuff. I don't think the state can actually, do that alone, and then we can have input of, the national. That's my opinion.
Yeah, the issue of combating insecurity is a collaborative effort. It has to be done in concerted efforts, to ensure that together we create an environment that is safe and habitable for every one of us. We would like to get your reactions this morning on the big story. Let us know, as a Nigerian citizen, what do you think is the best approach? What do you think is the best strategy to go about combating insecurity in Nigeria? It's all over the headlines, it's all over the news. Every day we wake up in the morning, there's one headline here or the other, talking about insecurity, littered all around the country. It is a sad one, and we must, as a people, both government, both private institutions, both citizens, like I said, a collaborative effort to ensure that we have a safe and an habitable environment for us all. So please head on to our Twitter page at TOS TV Network. Also head on to our Facebook page at TOS TV Network. Also on Instagram. Do well to drop your comments. We would like to get your reactions. As a Nigerian citizen, what do you think is the best approach, the best strategy to combating insecurity? We'd like to get your reactions and perspective. That is how much we can take today on the big story, and of course on the conversation here on TOS TV Network, your digital first Pan-African news network. Do well to follow us across all our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at TOS TV Network. Log on to our website for politics, news on politics, development, business and much more. www.tostvnetwork.com. I am Osaze Isesele.
And I am Adesuwa Osuyi. Thank you for watching the show.